In this video, I want to show you how to replace the rear drive shaft on this Ford F-150. Let's get started. Before we start, I want to mention that for this repair, you're going to want the truck in neutral. So make sure you chalk off those front wheels and set the parking brake, because once you disconnect this drive shaft, if you are just in park, nothing will hold this truck anymore. It's going to roll whichever direction it wants to. So you want to make sure that you are safe and support the truck and properly secure it so that it doesn't roll anywhere. Unbolt the four 12.12 millimeter mounting bolts that hold this drive shaft onto the rear differential. You either need a 12-point wrench and a rubber mallet, because these are pretty tight, so you're going to want to tap that wrench with it, or a 12-point socket. Okay, now with that one out, let's move on to the next one. If you move it so that the one you're trying to get to is on the bottom, it gives you the most space because the drive shaft goes up, so you can have a straight shot here. Otherwise, if you got an angle, because these are very tight and often have thread locker on them, you're going to fight them if you go at an angle because the socket can't grip onto it properly. Make sure your socket is seated all the way also. That's very important. Okay, there's number two. And now with it unbolted, give it a couple taps with a hammer, and it should break free. With the drive shaft supported in the rear, let's take out the two 13 millimeter bolts for the carrier bearing. And once again, make sure it is supported, because as soon as this comes down, the whole drive shaft will want to fall pretty much all the way to the ground. There's one. Hold the drive shaft. And lower it. If you have it supported in the rear, it will stay right here. Now you want to be very careful. You want to lift it, pull it straight back out of the transfer case, and there it is. There's your drive shaft. If your pinion yoke is rusty like this one, clean it up so that the new drive shaft can mount nice and flat on it. I'm using a very gentle and somewhat worn out sanding disc because I don't want to remove material, I just want to get rid of this surface rust. Once everything's cleaned up nicely and you have a clean, smooth surface, apply some anti-seize to this whole surface so that the new drive shaft doesn't seize on here in the future and no rust builds up in between the two. Now take the new drive shaft, slide it into the transfer case. You're going to have to spin it around to find the splines that line up. There we go. Support it at the back. Raise up the drive shaft so we can reconnect the carrier bearing. Start in one of the bolts, whichever lines up first. Make sure you start it in enough so it can support it safely. That way you can let go and start in the other one. Let's snug these up. The torque for these two is 35 foot-pounds. Now at the back, bring the drive shaft down, line it up with the differential. It's extendable, so pull it out until it meets up with this. Line up the bolt holes. Now there are extra bolt holes. Try to line it up with the ones that were used before, because most likely those are going to have clean threads, whereas the other ones will be a little rusty. So just go with the ones that were already used. Make sure it seats all the way. And now thread the bolts in. Apply some blue thread locker to them. These go in very smoothly by hand, so that's perfect. Rotate the drive shaft and thread them all in. And then we'll torque these to 76 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. It's important that you do that so that the drive shaft, if it hasn't already seated perfectly, can pull itself onto this perfectly flat. Otherwise, you'll get some serious vibrations as you drive down the road, especially at higher speeds. Before I torque them, I'm just going to snug them up. I'll use my wrench, that way I know they're bottomed out. And you can use a pry bar to prevent the whole drivetrain from spinning here. Make sure that you don't pry on the U-joints or anything like that. Okay, now we can torque them. Once again, 76 foot-pounds is the torque for these. Hold this with a pry bar and torque them in a star pattern. That's one. I'm going to mark them with a yellow crayon as I torque them. That way I know that they're done. And last one. All right, there we go. These are all tight. If you want it to go around and check them one more time, you can. But at this point, you're good to go. One last thing we have to do is add grease to the sliding joint here. So get your grease gun, lock it onto the grease fitting, and pump some grease in there. It's important that you add grease in here, otherwise over time the joint will rust and it will not move anymore. If it does, you're going to have some issues as the rear axle goes up and down over bumps, because this part is actually supposed to go in and out with that rear axle going up and down. Okay, I can see it start to move. That's how I know it's full. Yep, there we go. At this point, pull this off, and there you have it. Job done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.